Life is what you make it. Are we at the are we affected by everything around us? Or is everything around us affected by us? Let's talk about it.
Everybody gives you advice, yeah, on how to live your life, how to live your life. Don't you know that life is full of surprises? You better realize, better realize. Nobody knows what's in your soul and how your heart works. Nobody cares. It's time for you to live your life, yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going? Coach Brown checking in for episode number 3 of the Coach Brown Show. As you guys can see, the title of tonight's show is "Life is What You Make It," and this is a topic that came to me earlier today. I was considering what am I going to stream about tonight, and just reflecting on a lot of different conversations that I've been having with other people, and also conversations I've been having with myself, right? Um, and I felt like talking on this topic tonight would be extremely impactful and extremely powerful for everyone. So let me start by saying this. We're going to dive in tonight and we're going to talk or take a look at, um, you know, when it comes to life, are we at the effect of everything else or is everything else at the effect of us? And when it comes to life and what we experience, is it something that we're experiencing um without any control in the matter, or are we experiencing something with total control, right? um and I want to pull it apart and I want to look at it, and I want to talk to you guys and give you my perspective and also hear your perspective on what you think, and let's have a conversation around it, right? So before we dive in, I'm going to say, if you're new to the channel, this channel is all about empowering people, sharing messages that's going to be impactful and help to change and transform our life, change and transform the conversations, and reset the mind so we could rebuild the life. That's the mission of the channel. So, shout out to everybody who's been on the journey so far. I definitely appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. That's going to help to grow the community and help to grow the channel, right? So we get the message out to more people. So without further ado, I want to dive into tonight, right? So life is what you make it. How do we want to expand on that? What I want to do is I want to start by sharing this, right? When it comes to what we experience in life, right? Life is going to life is happening. So there's always going to be different events taking place inside of our life, right? And for those of us who are not aware, we are under the impression that these events are the things that solely shape our life and the experiences or how we experience life, right? The quality of our life. Is life, good, or is life bad? We base that on the specific events that transpire inside of our life. But what I would add to, or what I would have you consider is this: it's not the events that take place inside of our life that determine the experience that we have in life, right? It's not the events that determine whether life is good or whether life is bad, right? It's our own perspective in life that determines whether life is good or whether life is bad. It's our own perspective in life that determines what quality of life and what we take, right? How we experience life is all based on our perspective, our level of understanding, and our point of view on life, right? Um how we process things, our ability to process things is what's going to determine that. And I'll give you an example um on how this is applicable or how this even makes sense, right? There could be an event that takes place. You could be somewhere and I could be somewhere, and a particular event can take place. Something could happen inside of that space, right? That's the event. But depending on how you process, or depending on how your point of view on the matter, right, is going to determine how that event affects your life versus me. If the same particular event happens, based on my perspective or how I process this particular event, is going to determine how that event shapes my life, how that event shapes my experience in life. So, you know, it's not the event itself that's good or bad. I forget who said this quote, but it said, there's neither good nor bad. It's our thinking that makes it so, right? So you can walk outside and it could be raining. Let's say it's raining outside, right? That raining is the event. You walk outside, you walk out into the rain, and you just have a total meltdown. I hate the rain. This sucks so bad. Oh my God, my shoes are wet. You go on this whole tangent, and your whole day's ruined, right? And if someone were to ask you about that, your narrative around it would be like, "Oh, today sucks because it's raining outside," right? But in actuality, I can walk outside into that same raining situation, same event. It's raining outside, but I walk outside. And when I walk outside, I'm like, oh, it's raining. I love the rain. This is amazing. Right. And I start, feeling the rain. I put my hands up. I'm like, this is the greatest. I love the rain so much. Same event, but we're having two different experiences based on our perspective and our point of view on this particular event. So it shapes our world and shapes our reality. It's our own thinking that shapes our world and shapes our reality. It's our own ability to process, or how we choose to process particular events that shape our world and our reality. So with that being said, we can easily, a lot of people right now are living in uh you know or experiencing life in a very negative way. And for them, a lot of bad things are happening to them. They don't know. They say, hey, why is life doing this to me? It's one event after another. And there's a lot of um they have a very negative point of view on life, and it's all built around the events, right? If you ask them, it's all about the events that are taking place that are causing this negative point of view or negative outlook on life, and it's causing this negative experience for them in life, right? Their life is not, it's not a feel good life. They're not having feel good moments. They're not the happiest people, right? They're not the highest energy, highest vibrational people. And it's all because of the events. If you ask them, I had this happen, then this other thing happened, and I feel like this because this thing happened and that happened, right? And they lay blame on the events, and they never take the time to consider that it's not the event, but it's how we deal with the event that makes all of the difference. Because guess what? A change of perspective, a change of narrative around the events does not change the event, but it changes how the event affects your life. It changes how the event affects you as the individual. And it changes the quality of your life and your ability to be joyful, your ability to be happy, your ability to vibrate at a high vibration. It changes all of that simply by choosing to have a different perspective on particular events in life. So don't waste your time hoping for a different or different set of events, right? Instead, go into yourself and ask yourself, how can I change the way that I look at things? How can I change my point of view? How can I change how I process events? Because guess what? When you change those particular things, it doesn't matter the event that shows up in your life because you're able to maneuver. It doesn't matter what life throws at you, right? Doesn't matter what you come or what shows up inside of your life, because if you have the ability to process in a healthy way, if you have the ability to hold proper perspective, if you have the ability to stay in a place of power no matter what happens in life, to understand that all of life is happening for you, and to be able to hold a perspective like that allows you to maneuver through anything. And you're no longer at the will of events. You're actually able to take from events things that enhance your life. You're able to avoid going to the dark place. You're able to avoid becoming overwhelmed in a world of negativity, because you understand that the world is not the negative thing. It's the perspective that's negative. There's not negative events. There's negative perspectives, right? Is there bad things that happen in life? Of course, right? Bad things happen to people. But the thing about it, and the difference that we have to consider, is that, guess what? The people you know that's the happiest, the people that you know is the most positive people in the world, the people that you know that you just look at them sometimes, you say, wow, they just got everything and everything's together for them, right? I'm over here suffering and dealing with these things, and these people are just always happy and they're always, you know, up here. And I just wish I could be up there. Guess what? The same things that's happening to you is also happening to those people, if not more. But the difference between you and those people is that those people chose to create something different. They understand that the power is not in the event. The power is in the response to the event. And because those people understand that, they can now create life as they see fit, not because of what happens to them, but because of what they choose to do despite what happens to them. Despite, what could be easily perceived as a negative event and easily allow you to just go off the deep end and say, oh, poor me, this, that, right? That does not put you in a place of power. That does not allow you to change anything. That does not allow you to create anything, right? What if you could create life on your terms? Guess what? You can. But in order to create life on your terms, in order to create life as you see fit, you have to come to terms with you're creating your life and you are creating your life experiences, not the events that take place in your life. It's you and how you respond to those events that are creating life as you know it. And the true power in that is that once you can come to grips with that, hey, wait a minute, it's how I'm responding to all of life's events that's creating the world as I know it. It's creating my world and my experience in this life. When you could come to grips with that, then you can now say, hey, you know what? I choose to create something different. I'm going to respond different to life's events so that I can live in a different reality, a different world. The same things are going to continue to happen to me. So, given that I know that, right, that more than likely I'm going to experience the same events throughout life. And guess what? Same events that other people experience. I'm going to choose to respond to these events different than I normally do, to start to create a different world, something different than I'm normally or that I'm used to living in up to this point. Some people say heaven and hell is a state of mind. Because guess what? If you find your way to peace, if you find your way to harmony through how you choose to respond to any given event, mentally you're in heaven, right? But if you're at the effect of all the events, you're being pulled in all these different directions, guess what? You're living in hell, you're living in chaos. Because you don't have peace within yourself. So that's what was on my heart to talk to you guys about tonight, is that I want you to start to consider that your life and life as you know it is being created by you, nothing else, just by you, and how you respond to life's events. Don't don't put the blame in how your life looks on the events that take place, because it doesn't belong there, right? Putting it there totally dispowers you, because that means that you're not in control, that you're just at effect of whatever happens in life. But realizing that if I take responsibility for how I respond to any given event in my life and the consequences of my response or reaction, right? We can't be reactive. We gotta, have the discipline not to be reactive in life. And what that means is, which is exactly what it means. Don't react. Press pause. Take a breath. Decide how you're gonna respond to any given event so that you get the outcome that you desire. But if you can take responsibility and understand that your life and life that's being created is 100% the cause, or at the cause of how you respond to any event in life. It puts you in a place of power. It allows you to create life as you would have it look. It allows you to be at the wheel in life, not in the passenger seat, not in the back seat. For some of you guys, not in the trunk. Some of you guys are in the trunk. Some of you guys are being dragged behind the car, right? No, it's time to grab the wheel. And you grab the wheel by understanding you're creating constantly through how you choose to deal with any given event or any given moment. However you choose to respond, it is creating. However you choose to respond is creating. So you're constantly creating the world as you know it. But now it's time to create the world as you would have it look, by being who you have to be in any moment, by dealing with an event however you would have to deal with it to create what you want to create. So, I mean, that's a pretty straightforward message. I would love to hear your thoughts on that, right? Your insight on that. And I would tell you that life is really what you make it. The world is what you make it. Because guess what? We're all experiencing the world as individuals. And your individual point of view on the world is going to be your life's experience. You're experiencing life as yourself. I cannot experience life as you. No, you can, and you cannot experience life as me. But guess what? The life that we experience through our own lenses is our life experience. And we get to decide what that is. We get to decide how we're going to experience life. What is that going to be like? With that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up tonight a little bit early. We typically go over, so I'm going to wrap up tonight a little bit early, just because I did get on a little bit late today. Today was a very full day, and a lot of powerful things took place today that required some of my time throughout the day. So I got on a little bit late today, which is, I do apologize for that. However, it was on my heart to share this message with you guys. And, if you got anything from this message, it takes 1 second to hit the share button, but it means the world to grow in the channel and grow in our community. We're going to keep coming back week after week. And, a lot of things coming up. Next week, I have a big announcement for you guys. Also got a few guests lined up, so I'm excited about that. It's going to be very, very powerful. That being said, listen, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Listen, take time to examine your responses. How are you responding to things? How are you reacting to things? And then what are the consequences of that? Because that's what we're living. We are living consequences. That's what we are, right? Something happens, make a decision, and we are living in the consequences of who we decide to be in any given moment. So decide to be empowered and decide to create a powerful, joy-filled, and loving life, because that's what you deserve.